Hi, my name is John Moss and I'm president of the Loranda Group. The video you're about to watch is called Marketing Alternatives for Selling a Farm. In the next few minutes, I'm going to discuss the most popular options you have for selling your farm, whether it's a property that you've owned for many years or one that you've just recently inherited. I assume that you're just trying to gather some general information at this stage, so I won't be covering every detailed step for selling your acreage. When you're ready to learn more about the sales process, you may want to watch our more in-depth video entitled The Loranda System for Marketing Farm Real Estate, which can be viewed on the Loranda YouTube channel. Before I begin, realize that the two decisions that will have the greatest impact on the success of your sale will be, number one, selecting which method of sale you will use, and number two, choosing which real estate firm that you want to handle the transaction. I hope you enjoy this presentation and encourage you to contact us at any time with questions. Most farm real estate today is sold either by the brokerage, public auction, or sealed bid methods of sale. Each method has its definite advantages and disadvantages, and each can be successful depending upon the characteristics of the parcel being sold. Before choosing a specific type of sale, it's imperative that the following questions be answered. First, what are the physical features of the property that will encourage people to investigate and make an offer on it? In other words, is the parcel comprised of tillable land, woodlands, or pasture, and are there any improvements of value? This step is referred to as property due diligence. Second, what are the current characteristics and financial strength of the local marketplace? Is there lots of demand for the type of property being sold, as we've seen with tillable tracts the past few years, or is the demand very weak, as might be the case with used livestock facilities? This step is referred to as market due diligence. And third, are there any personal needs or preferences that the seller has that may be important in the transaction? Examples here might include how soon are the sale proceeds needed, how much control is desired over the terms of sale, or how public or private should the process be. This step is considered owner due diligence. Now that we've determined the factors that are relevant in choosing a sale type, let's look at the advantages and disadvantages of each of these methods on an individual basis. First is a brokered transaction, sometimes referred to as a private treaty or listed sale. This method involves collecting the necessary property due diligence information, setting a list price that is based on recent comparable sale information, implementing a marketing plan, obtaining offers, and closing the transaction. Brokered sales can be advantageous for sellers who have no specific time frame and can wait for offers to come in, who enjoy the game and challenges of negotiating with another party, and who want some control regarding who the ultimate buyer may be. The potential pitfalls of a brokered transaction include 1. Establishing a list price that is either too high, thus scaring potential buyers away because they don't think you're serious, or too low, thus leaving dollars on the table, a direct result from the fact that offers rarely come in above the list price. 2. Waiting an extended period of time for acceptable offers to come in. And 3. Having to negotiate every term and condition in an offer and having to deal with potential contingencies. A brokered sale was once the method of choice for selling farmland, and it is still commonly used in many areas today. However, other sale alternatives have become more popular as the demand for land has exceeded supply. In many cases, actual sale prices have far exceeded what comparable sales would suggest a property might be worth. A public auction is another way of selling a farm. This method involves collecting the necessary property due diligence information, implementing a marketing plan, conducting an auction, and closing the transaction. Public auctions can be advantageous for sellers who, 1. Want to determine and control the timing of the sale so that they can reinvest the sale proceeds in a timely fashion, often just 60 days after an auction contract is signed. 2. Want the advantage of being able to establish fixed terms on the property that are not negotiable. 3. Do not want the risk of setting the price for a property that is either too high or too low. And 4, are satisfied that a room of active bidders will likely generate the very best price for the property. Public auctions can fail if there are not enough interested bidders to generate a fair sale price. This can occur if the property is shop-worn, if the property is not properly marketed, if the property is located in an area with little financial strength, or if the property or area is burdened with environmental hazards or other negative factors that might impact buyers' interest, such as the threat of the property being taken by the government through eminent domain proceedings. In a market where there are many bidders, similar to what we've had with Farmland recently, record prices have been established with the public auction method of sale. Emotions often run high in an auction as bidders are placed in an environment where they have to compete directly against each other. Conversely, when demand for a particular property is low, the high bid may not match the seller's expectations simply because there are not enough interested buyers. The final type of sale that we want to discuss today is a single bid sealed bid sale. This method involves collecting the necessary property due diligence information, implementing a marketing plan, obtaining sealed bid offers, and closing the transaction. With the single bid sale, a potential buyer submits only one bid, his best, for consideration. Similar to a public auction, one bid sales can be advantageous for sellers that 1. Want to determine and control the timing of the sale so they can reinvest the sale proceeds in a timely manner, 2. Want the advantage of being able to establish fixed terms on the property that are not negotiable, and 3. Do not want the risk of setting the price for a property that is too high or too low. Moreover, a sealed bid sale has distinct advantages over public auction for certain properties when the market may have few interested bidders, when the highest and best use for the property may not be the same for all bidders, thus affecting what someone would be willing to pay, and when the seller wishes to make their final decision in a discreet, private environment versus in a public forum. Due to the concept of highest and best use, for certain properties, the top value may not always be achieved at public auction because the high bidder, who may place a high value on the property because he wants to develop it, would only have to bid one increment above the top dollar of the lower bidder, who may simply value it as farmland. However, with the single bid method, differing value perceptions can remain independent. Thus, it is often possible to extract substantial additional monies from the marketplace simply because the potential highest and best use of the property by each bidder will dictate how much they will bid. The single bid sealed bid sale can be used quite successfully for very unique properties. Keep in mind, however, that this method would not be as successful if all the bidders plan on using the property for the same purpose, which is the case for the majority of farm properties. It's also important to note that some attorneys, trust companies, and real estate firms use a hybrid type of sealed bid sale where multiple written and oral bids from buyers are necessary. Unfortunately, these sale methods eliminate many of the advantages that both the public auction and the sealed bid sale have, and consequently, they may not generate the most amount of money for the seller. The general marketing plan for each of the different sale types should be reasonably similar. A seller should expect to see certain proven advertising methods used in order to attract attention to the property and the sale. Some of these promotional techniques would include a professionally prepared brochure, print media advertising in both local and regional outlets, internet advertising on multiple real estate websites, specialized mailings targeted to a selected group of buyers, well-placed signage to attract drive-by traffic, and personal visits with prospective buyers and agribusiness professionals. In summary, there are several issues to consider before deciding which sale type will help you achieve your goals. The best method will have taken into consideration the physical attributes of the land, the financial strength of the local marketplace, and any sale or other personal preferences that you might have. A good way to confirm that you're using the right method is by talking with and getting written recommendations from real estate firms that offer and have experience with all three sale types. This diversified experience requirement will eliminate any biased recommendations from a company that only offers one sale method. Requesting examples of previous promotional advertising plans can also help guarantee that the firm you select has the expertise to consummate a successful transaction. Thank you for spending time with us today, and we hope that you now have a better understanding of how farmland can be sold. As mentioned earlier, if you would like in-depth information about the process that Loranda goes through when selling a farm, please watch our YouTube video entitled The Loranda System for Marketing Farm Real Estate, or feel free to contact us at any time.